Omicron and postponements. Those are the two words of the day in the Hockey Podcast News Pack for Tuesday, December the 14th.
Started off as a PG podcast, but then Devin just kept on dropping shits and fucks, and
I'm just trying to figure out what's in her mouth.
I just want to see him interview Francesco Aquilini.
He's a good human being, is what he would say about himself, I'm sure.
Who's hosting this thing?
Take charge, Kevin. Would you? Jesus.
First time we ever met those guys. That was the major drunken pub argument.
I think you guys are the worst.
I'm gonna have to probably watch some Canucks hockey, unfortunately.
Just making friends left, right, and center, and probably some enemies as well.
Tell him to shut up. He needs to hear that every once in a while.
Off to a good start.
All right. We are live.
It's okay to talk when it goes live.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hockey Podcast News Pack for Tuesday, December 14th. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at podcast_hockey, Facebook.com, The Hockey Podcast, YouTube.com, The Hockey Podcast, and subscribe to wherever you get your audio. As just a reminder, when you retweet our podcasts and our Hockey Pod clips and our news packs, you have a chance to win tickets to the Vancouver Canucks Calgary Flames game that is scheduled for April 23rd at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. That's a partnership with the Pig and Duke pub. You get tickets to the game, you get to hang out with Sean, Chris, and Devin, and you will also get a limo ride and food at the Pig and Duke. So check that out as well. We had our podcast last night. Just a reminder to check that out as well, as we talked about a number of different things, including the situation that the Calgary Flames were in as they had games canceled yesterday. The Chicago Blackhawks, Nashville Predators, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. 6 players and 1 trainer, one part of the team member of the training staff were put on that COVID list. That has now increased. The Flames added 3 more players to the COVID protocol today. This is where we start. 1 staff member now, and Milan Lucic, Sean Monahan, and Noah Hannafin join Elias Lindholm, Andrew Mangiapane, Brad Richardson, Adam Ruzicka, Chris Tanev, and Nikita Zadorov on that COVID list. Brad Treliving did speak to the media today in regards to what was going on, and he said, we're keeping the picture small. He doesn't want any proclamations about what's going to happen tomorrow, never mind Saturday, as he was asked about if the game on Saturday is going to happen. He said the lesson for all of us in this time is to take the information that you have and you make the best decision you can and move forward. But he also said Tuesday to Saturday seems like an eternity now. The Flames training facilities are closed for players until further notice. Now, this is also interesting because we talked about this. I mentioned this yesterday that Seth Jarvis was on the COVID list with Carolina, and they played the Vancouver Canucks, and Luke Shen is on the COVID list now, as well as Yuko Lamiko on the COVID list for the Vancouver Canucks. As a matter of fact, it's pretty much a huge list of players on right now, including Matthew Barzal is on it from the New York Islanders. There is a number of Brad Marchand is on this list. It is Zach Hyman is not, by the way, he's not playing tonight again at the Maple Leafs Oilers game. Just a number of players are on that list here. The Islanders have had COVID issues already, as has the Bruins. Devon Toews has entered COVID protocol as well. Pretty much the list of news today is about COVID and what is going to happen. And that's basically what's happened. As of 6, Jim Rutherford also spoke today to the media, president and interim GM, and he said that they were going to wait until 6 o'clock Pacific to know if for sure the game between the Columbus Blue Jackets and Vancouver Canucks is going. They did cancel postpone the Minnesota Wild Carolina Hurricanes game, as 2 more Carolina Hurricanes ended up on the COVID list as well. So it's very much one of those things that it's Lots of discussion today about whether the season needs to be on pause. There were 37 players yesterday in the NFL on COVID. They added another, at least reports were another 25 were going to be on that. The NBA has postponed games. Manchester United has postponed games. So are we? People are wondering if we're in another position of a shutdown of sports. According to Rick Westhead, there was a tweet that Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Guerin Moore, says the government will likely have news later this week regarding limiting large gatherings at venues such as NHL arenas. There's also been a tweet from Greg Wyshynski. The NHL and the NHL Players have moved up their meeting of medical staffs to tonight as a wave of positive tests caused at least 2 games to be postponed. So we'll have to see what is going on there. So there is a lot of this situation is actually just up in the air. We don't know what is happening and what is not at this point. So Ryan McLeod, also of the Edmonton Oilers, entered COVID protocol today. So where it's one of those situations, I guess, and it's the Olympics are up in the air now. Do you decide not to, the NHLPA decide not to go to the Olympics, and we use that time to make up games that have been postponed? We'll have to see about that as well. So there's really right now the news is up in the air. It's just becoming a very fluid situation. You can only take this almost like Brad Treliving has said. Tuesday to Saturday is an eternity. We will have to see what's happening there. We just hope everybody is okay. Dr. Bonnie Henry, by the way, spoke today here and did some modeling here in BC where I live, and according to their modeling, the worst case scenarios, we could see up to 2,000 cases by the end of December. They're not encouraging people to stay home for Christmas, but they are encouraging people to stay away from people that they don't know or are unvaccinated at this particular point. So there's going to be a lot more information as this goes on. That's going to affect a lot of different things. Hopefully you're okay. Hopefully you are safe. And we will be able to keep taking steps forward. There is other news going on as well, as the United States announced their roster for the World Juniors. Of course, Canada announced their roster on Sunday. United States have done that too. It includes the number 2 pick in the 2021 NHL draft, Matty Beniers. He's one of 6 returning players that has joined. Matthew Coronado, Flames draft pick, is also on that list. Los Angeles Kings Brock Faber, Ottawa Senators Tyler Clevin, Jake Sanderson as well from the Ottawa Senators, Brett Berard from the New York Rangers, Luke Hughes, Mackie Samsevich from the Florida Panthers included in that list. So they're going to have a very good team. Adam Kurzenblatt from the Third Line Pod is going to be covering the World Juniors for Area 51, so I'll encourage you to follow his work doing that as well. Of course, the United States are the defending champions, so they will be coming in with that momentum going in as well. As we did mention, Zach Hyman not expected to play tonight against his old team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, as the Leafs we're starting on their Western Canada road swing that was supposed to have Calgary on Thursday, playing Edmonton tonight, and scheduled to play Vancouver on Saturday. But no Zach Hyman, as Matthews and McDavid do go head-to-head as well. And Bill Guerin is named the United States General Manager for the Olympic team. He's the one that took over for Stan Bowen, who stepped down on October the 26th. This also, by the way, comes with some questions as well, as Guerin is not. How do I word this? He comes with a bit of a question in terms of this as well, in terms of his involvement with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and with that as well. but there was an investigation he had involved with the Pittsburgh Penguins, but he is now the general manager of the Minnesota Wild with that as well. So that will be that list as well. They're going on about that. Sorry for the small delay here. And there was an investigation in Safe Sport. And this is what one tweet from Katie Strang back on October 28th regarding Bill Guerin investigation by U.S. Center for Safe Sport. My understanding is that is still at the stage of process where an investigator is being assigned and an interview will be with the complainant has yet to happen. So as of yet, that's where we are at that particular point. But Bill Guerin is taking over that position from Stan Bowman. That is the news for today. Unfortunately, a lot of cancellations or postponements. I keep using the word cancellation. I mean the word postponement. Hopefully, you're doing all right. You can, of course, follow us again on Twitter at podcast_hockey, Facebook.com, The Hockey Podcast, YouTube.com, The Hockey Podcast. Subscribe, retweet. Remember, our word of the week this week is culture. That also enters you into a draw when you message podcast_hockey. So that will be the news for today, and we will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.